All right, back here with Ray Lewis. We're going viral. Lane Johnson and Chris Long wore dog masks after beating the Falcons on Saturday. Home underdogs. Well, now the Eagles are underdogs again this weekend against the Vikings, and they are tweeting about it. Quote, doggone it, you better believe dog masks will be allowed at Lincoln Financial this weekend. Just make sure to take them off when you go through security. It's a real thing.
That's funny. I'm not going to lie. I usually try to be up on these things. I was so confused why everyone was wearing these dog masks. I didn't put together the underdog.
I sent you an email and told you about it.
Yeah, he didn't read it.
I have all your emails go to a special file. I read them one day a week.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem. You would have been ready for this segment like Jenna was because I sent it. They sold them out online and everything. Sold over 500 of them.
CC. Every day. Anyway, they're all sold out.
You're trying to go to the game on Philly. Won't you read my email on Monday where the tickets are?
Okay, all right, fair enough. Good point.
Jeez.
All right, Ray, let's move on to the other side of the playoffs. The AFC Championship is set, and while few predicted this exact matchup, this is the matchup. Patriots and Jaguars. Quick resume update. Jaguars quarterback Jalen Ramsey finished the year with 6 interceptions and was named a first-team All-Pro. Not on his resume, Super Bowl predictions. Hours after the Jags won last week, he said they're going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win. Patriots might have chuckled a bit or they might not have cared. Question, what will the Jags defense have to do now to slow down Tom Brady? You started talking about it last segment. I tee you up. I let you go, Mr. Ray Lewis.
Oh, my goodness. Jalen, I tell you what, I hope y'all sitting home watching a lot of film. A lot of film. Because the one thing I said this weekend about Jacksonville's defense, they are really, really good. But to become great, I keep saying this analogy, you must be on a string. Everybody must be on sync. And the one mistakes, if you look at Pittsburgh, now they made some plays. Antonio Brown made some heck of a catches. They just made some incredible plays in that game. But the holes, wherever your holes are, Brady's going to find those holes. Wherever those weaknesses are, he's going to exploit those. This is Jacksonville's advantage. They don't have to blitz. If they wanted to, they could, because they probably have one of the best corners in the game, and Ramsey and Rhodes is probably playing in Minnesota. But when you think about, I want you to listen to these numbers, what Tom Brady has to deal with, right? They're scoring, they're number 2, right? Points per drive, they're number 1. Total, they're number 2. Yards per play, they're number 1. Passing, they're number 1. Red zone, they're number 1. Sacks, they're number 1. Turnovers, they're number 1. So you ask yourself, what are they building in Jacksonville? They're building a bully on defense. Why? I built many bullies. And when you can bully people with what Calais Campbell is doing up front and what he brings from a veteran leadership, and those boys are running, Miles Jack, and them boys are running the way they running, and Ramsey them on the backside, this is one of the most intriguing matchups that I'm looking forward to this weekend, simply because Brady will find your weakness, and Jacksonville has to figure that out.
If you're Jacksonville, what do you do with Gronk? Because that's the one guy on the. You don't have to scheme him open. I mean, he's going to be a better athlete than or a better player than who he's matched up against. So what do you do? It's
almost crazy how many defenses that play against Gronk, and when Gronk is in the third wide receiver position from the line, they give him free releases. Gronk is so big of a player that if he ever has to stop and start, that's a different problem for him. But for people in Pittsburgh game, 3 times in a row, they let Gronk run straight up the field and nobody touch him. You take a defensive end, you walk him out, bang him inside, make sure he has to start and then restart, and then you slow Gronk down. But if you let Gronk just be Gronk, I don't care who it is, you're going to have a problem with that guy. And I think that's one of the biggest things, because they do play a nice size cover 2, a nice type of cover 2 shell, because they are really confident in their front 4, the way they can get to the football. So this is really going to be an interesting matchup, how they deal with Gronk because of the style of defense they play. Well,
put Barry Church on them. They got a great defense. Barry Church, a veteran player. They paid him $26 million, 4-year contract to come over from Dallas. But you can't give Tom Brady, oh, Barry Church is going to guard Gronk 50, 60 plays. No, and you can't put Jalen Ramsey, because you can't make the defense play outside of the natural defense. Gronk is a tight end. Yeah, he splits out a little wide. They do that for window dressing, so they can identify what type of coverage you're in. People say, oh, just put Jalen Ramsey on. No, you don't want to do that. No. Keep Jalen in his natural spot because they play man and they play zone. That cover 2, rush 4 is what's going to get them their path to victory. But you got to make Tom Brady pull the ball down. Jacksonville, the one thing I saw last week that I didn't like, Ben had too much time to throw. That's why they were able to continually keep coming back and scoring. They weren't getting there. Now, you read the stats. You can't watch the Pittsburgh game and think those are the same defenses. That defense that's on that stat sheet will show up in Foxborough, not the one was in Pittsburgh because they got better matchups against New England.
The Jalen Ramsey on Gronk discussion is one we've had off the air a bunch. That I'm asking, he's your biggest corner, is your best corner. Gronk's their biggest weapon, and CC's just dismissed it out of hand. So you can't do that. Explain why you can't do that.
Because you destroy the integrity of your defense, right? You can't bring one of your most dominant corners and put him where they're going to have Gronk lined up at.
Yeah, where do you line the safety? You line them up in Jalen's natural spot?
And then you actually give one of the greatest quarterbacks the secret to your test.
More information.
Yeah, if you do that, he's saying, I'm a man. They got to be man, and this is where
then they start setting all those pick routes on you, and then your head spins.
You watched Tennessee game last week, and this is the only thing I always say about not only chemistry, but veteran-led defenses. For Brady to get that many strings off, for Brady to do the same thing in last year's Super Bowl to Atlanta, the running back became the feature. Tennessee could not figure that out for whatever reason. Nobody wanted to play the running back on the string. Everybody wanted to just drop back and just say, hey, I'm covering ground, or I'm enjoying the game with Brady. I'm telling you, Jacksonville has an advantage, I think. They can really slow that down because of the way they play defense.
But, Ray, is this only going to come down to these 2 units, to whether the Jacksonville defense can stop Tom Brady? Because at some point, if Brady puts up points, the Jaguars are going to have to put up points, too, and that puts a lot of pressure on Leonard Fournette and that ankle and Blake Bortles.
This is the one time I say, this is to Ramsey, if you're great, show it. If you talking about being that defense, show it. That's the one thing that we put on our backs. That we said when we went to New England, when we went to Denver, it don't matter. Yeah, they're going to score. But when the game matters, be great.
When you guys won the Super Bowl, the first one, the second one, your guys' offense was clicking in the postseason. But in the first one, you went into a game feeling like we can allow how many points?
3.
3 points.
That's all we needed. And if we got it early, it was a bad day.
3 points.
Absolutely. I want you to just think about this from my street. In that entire playoff run, seriously, we gave up 1 touchdown to Tennessee. Oakland didn't score. Giants didn't score. So wow. I'm just telling you that the way we played.
And from a history standpoint, Jacksonville defense on paper is the best since that defense.
Right. They match it. I mean,
so it's gonna be one of those, man. But I'm telling you now, we're gonna sit back and say, are they ready? Are they ready? Because Brady, he's Brady.
Ray, thank you. 18 days. We're counting. He's counting. If we don't, he counts. We're mine.
Knock on the door.
Man, sign this right here. Sign that. No, sign that for me. No, you got to sign that. Sign it because in 18 days the price go up.
Hey,
sign
how much trouble are the Cavs in after losing 8 of 10? We'll talk basketball next. First things first. You're signing that one. You can sign one for me.